Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we had a stacked wrestling weekend, and we got to talk about World Collide. Honestly, I had really high hopes for this PLE, and I think it blew it out of the water. I don't know. I've always been a fan of the lucha style of wrestling. It's like one of my top ones. I really like when, especially if you can get like a lucha mixing with a lot of the strong style of Japan and you put those together. That's kind of a lot of cool stuff. And we get a little bit with some of the wrestlers here. And we just had a lot of cool matches here that I just figured we'll discuss. I mean, it's hard not to. First off the bat, we had a six-man tag match. It was Aerostar, Mr. Iguana, Octagon Jr. versus Lance Dorado and the LWO. Joaquin Wild got knocked out on main event, so they had to make the last-minute change. I honestly think it worked out really good with Lance Dorado's character. I mean, I haven't seen much of him. I saw him in Evolve recently, and I think I remember him a little bit from Lucha House Party, but it worked out great. And Mr. Iguana broke the internet. And honestly, out of everything of the moments of the weekend, other than maybe R-Truth coming back, it was the biggest thing. And the wrestling with the Iguana just was fun. So this was just a kind of fun match where like the wrestling itself was really good. And then the comedy work and everything else I thought was also stellar. I enjoyed it. I was supposed to like I sat down to watch it and was supposed to get like something done in the background as the first match was coming on. I didn't do anything. I just watched that match from start to finish with no just kept my eyes on it. It was just a lot of fun. I thought everybody did a really good job, and I was happy about it. I'm putting it a solid A. I thought it definitely deserved that. Great way to start off the show. Next up, we had Lola Vice and Stephanie Vercor versus Chica Tormenta and Dallas. Dallas? Dallas? I heard it a couple different times on the broadcast. I think this match was a little bit, slowed down by some of the competitors. I felt like it was more of like a strong style than a lucha style of wrestling. I know some of the competitors had like the lucha vibes, but like they didn't really necessarily translate in it. I thought the match was still pretty good. They obviously had to really rely on Lola Vice. She took a big brunt of that match that she was out there because obviously they were trying to save Stephanie as best they could for Money in the Bank. So I definitely think it kind of made the match a little bit worse. But I think altogether it was still a pretty solid match to be on the card. I'd put it on C. I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but I think there was definitely better stuff on this card. Next up, we had another six-man tag match. It was Legado del Fantasma, which is Angel Berto and Santos Escobar against El. It's Wagner Jr., but I always get that first part always messed up. Pangon and Psycho Clown. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get better with these names. This match was a lot of fun too. Obviously, like having kind of like a heel faction with like a mix faction or like team, I thought was pretty good. There was a lot of good back and forths with it. It was one of those matches again that it was just like a lot of good spots, and everybody kind of looked like $1 million out there. And I was kind of surprised that Team WWE won. It kind of made sense for the other one flipping the opposite way I figured with five matches, it was definitely going to be a 3-2 situation. It was just kind of really depending on the two six-mans that I knew it would be flipped around a little bit. And obviously, the Fatal Four Way was pretty much the one that I knew for sure wasn't going to change. But yeah, this match was just a lot of good back and forth. Um, uh, Los Garza did amazing. They need to get that push in that tag division. I really think this will be something that'll be good for them. Obviously, I think they're also going into the Triple Mania that AAA does for the trios title. I think they're going to be part of that, so that's also going to be a good, nice push for them. But yeah, I'd say this is solid B. I could rate it a little bit higher, but I think the other two matches that come on after it are just so much better. Obviously, the next one we had was the North American Fatal Four Way, which everybody was kind of like complaining because they were like, well, what about Ethan Page and Javon Evans? But when they really explain it, it makes a lot more sense with Ethan Page being Canadian and Javon Evans being American and the other two being from Mexico. That is the perfect North American championship match because it's everybody in North America. So I actually kind of thought that was a pretty cool touch. Ethan Page as champion was going to be like, I fought the odd man out because obviously his style doesn't match to any of the other three, but he stuck in there really good. I mean, even Page is one of those people that I always like not necessarily like discount, but like I just be like, oh, he's here, he's solid, he's okay. But no, he's pretty good as champion, and he's really good as a heel. Ray Phoenix did amazing things. Laredo Kid also did really great, but I think Javon Evans definitely was the MVP here because obviously that boy Bouncy, he just did absolutely crazy stuff, and this was exactly why he was in that match. Solid A. Honestly, I just feel like they could have maybe just used a little bit more time. I feel like a little bit more time and a little bit more to do it. I felt like Laredo Kid didn't get as much spots as everybody else. I think we really could have seen a little bit. Obviously, there could be other reasons. He might be nursing an injury or something. We never know with that type of stuff. Ray Phoenix looked pretty decent altogether too. So I thought everybody looked pretty good out there. Next up, we had the main event. We had El Hidro del Vikingo. I'm trying to get it. I feel like that I always get that first part wrong, and then it just throws me completely off. Versus Chad Gable. Now, I thought this match was gonna cook, and this cooked. Like it was just so good. Like that top rope, like pile driver into the mat that Gable delivered to Vikingo was just nasty, and there was just so many nasty spots. Obviously, they had a few little hiccups here and there, not super crazy, so I wouldn't put it as like a perfect like 5-star match to me, but I think it was fairly close to like being that like 4 point or yeah 4.75, point 0.8, point 0.9. Like it was close to a full 5-star match to me. It was just really good. I mean, obviously Chad Gable does Chad Gable things, and you got Vikingo, who I've enjoyed for years. I remember him in AEW. I do, what it was, a TNA. I think he also had a match and a couple other matches. So like he was just one of those guys from the indie scene that like I knew about, and I was like, yeah, he would be great in WWE. And now he's here as the champion, as in AAA, and hopefully we get to see him way more. I hope they get a little bit of crossovers a lot more often than just once a year. So if that's going to be the case, I think a lot of people are going to be enjoying that. And man, absolutely cooked. This match was great. It was 22 minutes long. I could have like added another 20 minutes to this and I would have been perfectly happy, but Chad Gable would have died because he had to do double duty. That was the only problem with that. I felt like they even like probably told him, "Hey man, just go out there and do your thing." And he still went out there and delivered just an amazing match, and then sat there and went over to Money in the Bank and had that. That somebody has to go out there and decide and like give him a push just based off of this right here, because like Stephanie did double duty and nothing against her. Obviously the tag match saved her a little bit, and she did really good in the ladder match, so she had that time. But he did amazing in both. Like I could easily say that like he had some of the best wrestling in like a 6 hour period of time because they went back to back. But yeah, S tier is where I'm going with this. I put the card probably in a high A because even the matches that necessarily I don't think were like the greatest matches, like the women's tag match, they were still enjoyable as hell, and I would watch this whole card again, and no skips. Like I wouldn't skip the match, and which is kind of rare when you see one any PLE and two any event in general, because there's so many times where it's just like, well, I don't really want to see that one, or this one I don't really care about. But no, you got to sit there and watch the whole thing, and you're gonna enjoy it because it is amazing. So yeah, that is my review of this beautiful, beautiful PLE. I hope you guys actually got to check it out. I kind of want to do some more AAA content. I want to be looking at more of the things. I know we got Triple Mania coming up, and yeah, I've been wanting to get into it, but I figured this would be like the first thing. You kind of just get like that taste, and then you kind of wait and you see what happens, and we definitely did, and I'm not disappointed in what I'm seeing. So yeah, I really want to see some more of this, and I can't wait for more. Until next time, this has been Japan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because we do wrestling content. We do WNBA content if you'd like the Dallas Wings mainly because we're just covering Paige Becker's season. She's finally going to be back, so I'm going to be happy. But we normally have like 1 to 2 videos. We have some shorts. We got some live streams coming up. Any wrestling related content that I can stream because I stream video games every night anyways. So if I can get it a little bit of wrestling fame, like so Fortnite, Call of Duty, because there's skins, even Fall Guys. If I got the Ashka skin, like something like that will might make its way on the channel in the lives, so I can get a little bit of extra time with you guys. So if you guys like that type of stuff, just like it and tell me what you guys' favorite match was on this card or the weekend. I definitely think this was the Chad Gable Vikingo match was my favorite altogether, but man, we were in a very rich weekend of wrestling. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.